Hi guys, this is Mark Gordon, and I'm checking out VaMo Radio right now. They have some amazing artists, so check them out. I'm going to be on there talking about my video, Diaper Don. Thanks, guys.
Hello, everyone. This is your host of VaMo Radio, Vanessa Morgan, and I am here today interviewing the creator of the iconic music parody titled Diaper Don. Here's Marc Gordon. Hi, Marc. How are you?
I'm doing great. How's everybody doing out there?
Awesome. We're doing great here in Chicago. I'm so glad to be speaking with you today.
Me too. I'm excited to talk to you as well.
Awesome. So, Marc, tell us, what is your background in music?
So my background in music is I started doing stand-up years ago, and I had a comedy rap that I would always use to close down my bed, and that was like for me like the most fun that I had to do, and the audience really liked it.
Wow.
So yeah, I kind of a lot of my music kind of comes from like kind of the comedy background.
Okay. Awesome. Oh.
Yeah, so and I like to mix it. I just feel like people, it's just like the energy. I just love like performing live in front of people.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. I actually work with artists of different genres of music and everything, you know, and I know that love. People tell me about that all the time. So that's amazing. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's great. And it's cool. Like I started off doing a lot of like music videos.
Wow.
As well. Yeah.
Wow.
I was actually a photo double for Eminem.
Wow. Oh, that is so cool.
Can I tell, like, it's kind of a funny story. So I just first got here, and I was in the Real Slim Shady video.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I was in that one, and I just kind of moved out to LA, and I was very excited. And I had this one song, and then I saw it, like Eminem, I saw Dr. Dre, like, you know, these are my idols.
Right.
And I walked around, and I was like, hey, I'll do the song. And Dr. Dre actually gave me a card.
Oh.
And he's like, call me. And I was so excited until I realized it was probably a fake card because he got hit up all the time. But at the time, it was very exciting.
Awesome.
Like, thinking I'd be the next Eminem.
That was awesome. That's cool. Man, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Marc, what led you to pursue a career in comedy and music?
It's just something that I always went to. I think as a kid, I just always loved doing comedy. And I would do like a lot of different plays, and I went away to camp, and I kind of wrote these different sketches. We called it like the 5 o'clock news and 6 o'clock news. And I think I just love the excitement, and I was also like a really short, really young-looking guy, so I felt like using comedy would kind of get me noticed.
Wow. Okay.
So it was just something that I always enjoyed. I just always like making people laugh, and even when I'm out, it's just like I always try to get like a laugh out of somebody.
That's cool. That's really cool. I like your personality. That's nice. Everybody needs to laugh every now and then.
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
So tell me, what inspired you to create a song and video about Donald Trump?
Oh, so that's a great question. So I was just watching on what was happening to America. I'm a big study of history, and I kind of saw like a lot of other countries are starting to kind of go to this autocratic style of government.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw Trump was following that same pattern. And so going from Obama, which I thought was, the greatest president of my lifetime, and then the thinking the possibility of Trump, it was very scary because Trump built his whole entire campaign on dividing people, on racism, on going after, like LGBTQ, going after women, going after a lot of people in the media. And I saw like media, comedians, people in entertainment, press being under attack. So it just seemed like a really, really scary time. And he hasn't disappointed. It's really bad. And unfortunately, if there does happen to be another 4 more years, I'm afraid of what's going to happen. So for me, when you look at someone like Trump, who was a con man who just built himself up on his image, so I thought, what better way to go after him? You can't talk about policies because he has no policies outside of like divisive and racism, is to go after his image. So what's more humiliating to a guy like Trump and to be portrayed as a whiny baby? So that was the whole concept of Diaper Don. So basically, it was really awesome. We took like this green screen. We took like one of my friends, Manny Hughes, made this big orange Trump, and then my face over it.
Oh.
and then we had some really talented people. Eugene Kuzum, who played Ivanka Trump, and then my another friend Anise, who played Melania, and another friend Shari, who played Sarah Huckabee.
Oh wow!
So we just did like a whole parody of all these characters in this just kind of like over the top music video.
Oh, that is awesome! I took a look at it. It was
so much
awesome.
fun to make. It's such a blast making it, and and today was like the official first release day. I kind of wanted to coincide with this interview.
Man, that is awesome! Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun doing this.
So, what setbacks have you experienced with that?
Setbacks?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it is if you don't have the big budgets.
Yeah.
Like an Eminem or Dre, and I'm sure a lot of the other independent artists out there can relate to it.
Yeah.
It's you gotta pull a lot of favors.
Right.
To make this, and we did.
Awesome.
A lot of people contributed, just kind of donating their time because they really believed in what I was doing.
Awesome.
And so I had some guys just make beats, and then I had this amazing producer come along and mix it. So and then once I had the song, the other people in the video were like, okay, I want to be a part of it. So a lot of it was just like, okay, let's see if we can put this all together,
right,
and make it happen. And when you're going through it, it's definitely a challenge. But when you get the final product, I feel really happy how it all turned out, and I'm really happy with everybody who contributed.
Awesome. Oh, that's amazing. I watched it. It was hilarious. I loved it. I loved
Thank you. That's the whole thing, is just getting a smile on everybody's faces. I realized this like a couple years ago. I was really into the Bernie Sanders campaign, and I just really liked what he was doing, and so I would just go to these different like functions, and sometimes you can get up and speak. And I noticed a lot of people it was just like always just angry and like one speaker after the next. And I felt like after a while, that message got drowned out.
Yeah.
So I found out, like I would always try to get some jokes and get people like really involved. And I found like a lot of people would come up and be like, thank you. Like it was much more enjoyable to listen to. Right. And it ended up doing like an event of like comedy and hip hop night.
Nice.
Like a fundraiser. So I got to see like the same thing. People like would get up and make speeches. Nobody listened. When we get up and entertain people would really listen and kind of gravitate. And that was the whole reason for this. It's like if I can there's people who are like hardcore anti-Trumpers who we already know what they're going to vote. They're going to vote anybody who's Democrat. But it's the people kind of in the middle.
Right.
And I kind of want to reach those people who aren't active and maybe kind of thinking, okay. right. There are really a lot of bad things that I'd like to see changed.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I'm glad that you're actually taking that steps to help other people realize what's going on in our society today, in our world,
Oh
and
yeah,
everything. So that's
it's just,
awesome. You're taking a really good approach with it too. You know, a hilarious approach. So that's really cool. So
thanks. We wanted something where you're just like, okay, this is really over the top and just fun and like catchy.
right. So Mark, who do you look up to?
Well, in as far as people who are kind of blending comedy and politics together, I really love what Stephen Colbert is doing.
Okay.
I think he's just really hitting it. I'm a big Daily Show, so I really love what Jon Stewart and I really like what Trevor Noah are doing. Howard Stern is definitely a big inspiration, just like so outspoken. And just kind of like was a big trailblazer, and Seth Meyers, and I like a lot of those guys. And in comedy, I like Kevin Hart and Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a big Robin Williams guy. Music, I'm a huge like Eminem and Dave Matthews.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang, like there's a lot of inspiration.
Oh, that's amazing. So, how will you measure your success on this project?
I would measure success by the amount of views and comments and likes.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, I know that's kind of like a standard answer, but I feel like my whole goal is I want to get this video up to the point where either like Trump or one of his cronies tweet something about it.
Man, that
like
would
it
be
really
awesome.
kind of rattle the cage a little bit. So if I can get that to me, it would be like the ultimate.
Man, that would be so cool. That would be awesome to see.
I'm hoping everybody out there can really help me really get the view count up enough to where it shows up on their radar.
So if you had the opportunity to sit down with Trump, what would you ask him?
Cool. There's definitely a lot of things that I would like to ask him. One, why the need to use racism to prop up your base, and why cozy up to dictators? Yeah. So I never understood that. He's supposed to be the president of America, but he's only feel like he's just kind of catering to just a certain segment. Right. And it's definitely not unifying.
Definitely, yeah. That's awesome. I appreciate you actually being on here and being able to share your opinion on things. You know, a lot of people have a lot to say. I've heard a lot to say about Trump, but people are afraid to actually speak their minds about it, or actually even say anything at all because, you know, he's the president. So, you know, it's one of the highest powers, so to speak, in the U.S. And, you know, it's kind of like, I don't know, if people kind of degrade them or, you know, bash them out on internet, social media and everything. So I'm actually glad that you're able to express your thoughts and your opinions about this. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no, thank you. I think that's absolutely correct. I think a lot of people are afraid or they don't want the backlash. But right. I feel like at some point we all have to kind of stand up and say, well, that's enough is enough. That's not what we want. Like I said, especially after coming from Obama, who was, you know, just like, you know, an inspirational person, now to the opposite.
Yeah, the complete opposite.
Complete, yeah, absolutely.
So what do you feel is like the biggest or one of the biggest misconceptions about Trump and his administration?
Well, I think the biggest misconceptions is that he's draining the swamp. So many people are like, oh yeah, he's taking out all these Washington insiders, but it's quite the opposite. He's actually putting all of these people into to cabinet posts and administration who all they want to do is they're like against the organizations that they're representing. And they're like all the people that he hires are just incompetent grifters. You know, they're just literally just taking money out of everything. Like I never seen such a thing. Like the EPA the guy that had the EPA used to sue the EPA. Wow. And they're doing everything they're doing like everything they can to pollute. What was it? Ben Carson doesn't even know anything that's happening in in HUD, but meanwhile he's like getting like a $50,000 dining room table. Like all of these people, yeah, like Steve Mnuchin, like all the I've never seen anything before. It seems like that seems to me like a skit, but it's real life.
Right, exactly. So do you feel like the American people are being misled and actually only by the Republican Party?
Yeah. Absolutely. They're being misled.
Yeah, definitely.
And because I'll go on and I'll go on like Fox News or Breitbart just to see, and most of the news that's out everywhere else doesn't get to them. So a lot of the times, like those group of people, they're only getting what the propaganda people get on Fox News. So I really applaud people like Mayor Pete and Bernie for going on Fox News, because that message needs to get out to those people. Right. And the funny thing is, I think I saw this with Mayor Pete was on, and he got a standing ovation on, and it shocked the Fox News. And Bernie was also on. He was talking about like Medicare for all, and people were applauding. And the Fox News was like, hey, do you guys really want that? And they really wanted it.
Wow.
So I feel like, yeah, it was awesome. So I feel like if we can kind of get that message over to people, I think we could really, those people who are kind of like manipulated or brainwashed will kind of like say, hey, this isn't good for us.
Right, exactly. Yes, I know some of it's going to be a little hard to change. A couple of them that are, stuck in their ways. They're really, pro whatever this is, pro that. But a lot of them, I really think we couldn't change them over there.
Oh, absolutely. And it's kind of overwhelming because, like, every day you're like, there's something new and crazy going on. So it's hard to keep track. So I think a lot of people are like, oh, man, I don't even know what to do. There's just, like, too much news.
Yeah, it's like what to look at. Like, what do I look at? Like, what's true, what's not,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. So, like, in your opinion, are most people in Hollywood for or against Trump?
I would say, like, the majority, seems like 95% of the people are anti-Trump.
Wow.
Because,
really? Oh, wow.
Because if you think of, like, Hollywood, it's such a melting pot. People come from all over the world here. Yeah. And you're working every day with people from all different walks of life. Right. So, and there's so many different cultures and different people. And so you feel like you kind of have to be able to work together. You don't want that kind of divisiveness that Trump pushes out. Yeah. So it's a very like liberal bubble in Hollywood.
Wow. Oh man, I didn't even know.
Which is great.
That is awesome. I had no idea. I thought most people would be for Trump. Because from what we see, certain aspects of the news and everything that you watch. It depends on where you're getting your information from. Is it just television? Is it social media? Or where the sources are, really? So you'll see things like a couple people supporting him. So everybody would think, oh, it's Hollywood that supports him, But it's actually interesting to hear that they don't. So.
Oh, yeah, awesome. No, yeah. It's pretty amazing. And now the good thing is a lot of people are really starting to speak up. Before, a lot of people are like, well, you don't want to mix entertainment and politics, but now I think like everyone's like, okay, enough is enough. Right. We have to do our part.
Man, that's awesome. That's great because they do have voices as well. So, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of times you hear people say like, oh, well, what do you know? You're just, an artist and entertainer. But they know a lot, So like a lot of people want to silence voice. They just want, just think, oh, just go up and make movies or music and that's all you're good for. But
right, exactly. So can you name 3 things that Trump has done that has personally caused you grief or any hardship in your life?
Yeah. So I have a side business where I kind of make paddle boards and scooters, and because of his tariffs, it made it really, really expensive to do business.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so he was trying to say, well, tariffs would be paid by the Chinese, not the consumer, but all of us are paying. There's all these goods all the places that we shop at. Yeah. Everything is going to be a lot more expensive. So we're all going to be feeling that one very, very soon. And then also I have, like I was saying, in Hollywood or people that I work with, you have people from all different backgrounds, and they don't feel comfortable being demonized. You'll
Right.
work with people who are, immigrants or from different groups that he's demonizing, and they definitely don't feel comfortable or thinking about like, okay, what are my long-term plans here?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and then also, like I was saying, you see a lot of people, like comedians and entertainers, they're being under attack. They're trying to shut down freedom of speech. So
Yeah.
that to me is just it's a terrible thing that we don't want to happen. So
Definitely.
all of those factors, I mean, and it keeps growing. There's just always new attacks.
Right. So how can people share your music video?
Yeah, so I have a website which is Marc with a C, S, Gordon.com. So you can watch it there, and then there's other links to. I have two versions. I have like a clean version, and I have an unedited version. And then you can also, on all your streaming devices, if you type in Diaper Don, it'll be like on all your services.
Awesome.
And then also on YouTube, you can go on Diaper Don as well. And then you can follow me on Instagram at Marc S. Gordon, and Facebook as well. Same thing, Marc S. Gordon, and Twitter.
Awesome. So, Marc, if I could ask you one more question. If you could give someone a piece of advice about speaking their minds and, not being afraid to share their opinions, what would that be?
So my advice is, people are going to criticize you, and you just can't be afraid of what they're going to say. You just got to believe and be true to yourself. And you'll feel like, I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't know if I want to say that because I'm afraid, but you'll feel so much better once you get your opinion and viewpoint out. And then you'll kind of realize there's a lot of people who might think like you as well.
Right. Exactly.
And then it doesn't seem like, okay, it doesn't seem as scary. You're not really worried about whatever will happen or the ramifications of you speaking your mind.
Definitely. You guys, you have just heard it from Marc Gordon. And make sure you check out this interview again by visiting VaMo-radio.com. And it'll also be on our YouTube channel at Vanessa Morgan. Just look up my name or look on my website and all my information is there. Thank you so much, Marc. This was a wonderful interview. Hilarious. You guys, you got to check out the video.
Thank you so much for listening. And for everybody out there doing as independent artists, please get on.